guys, welcome to Steve Strings. I have another build for you today. This is an instrument that I made for Halloween, but as you can hear, my voice isn't that great. Basically, I had laryngitis on Halloween and couldn't talk before then, so I really couldn't do a review or a show and tell of this. Well, let's look at it. Here it is. This is a 3-string Halloween cookie tin guitar, or you could say it's a cookie tin banjo because it's really more like a banjo. Let's give you a rundown of this. As you can see, like I said, I have this sort of basic just cookie tin I picked up at the Goodwill. It says Happy Halloween on it. And for those of you who don't know, I live in San Antonio, where they have a very large Hispanic, particularly Mexican heritage here. And it's also La Dia de los Muertos down here. And so I put a little shout out to that part of the community. The neck here, and I'll show a picture that shows the wood I used for this. The heel and part that goes through the tin was a stake that was stuck in the ground. The neighbors had some foundation work done, and the construction workers left the stake that had been stuck in the ground. It's pine, lots of pitch. I don't think I'll use that again, but I wanted to make it out of found objects, so I used that. The neck is radiata pine. The nut for this is just a bolt that I got from my neighbor was pitching some furniture that was broken, and I harvested that from that. The tuners, this is actually my second set of tuners for this. I used a set of tuners that I salvaged from a Walt Disney Princess guitar, but as I was bringing up to pitch, they actually broke because they're really cheap tuners. I don't think I'll use those again. So these are some inexpensive tuners, but some proper tuners. You may note this headstock has unique shape. What I was looking for here was to get a shape reminiscent of the beak of the raven that is here on the tin. So hopefully you can see that raven's beak in there. Also, if you can see here, I have what appears to be a volute. And that's not carved so much as I took some of the mahogany, a piece of mahogany from inside a cigar box, and I basically laminated that. So there's a layer of that cigar box mahogany that I shaped to give that volute, to add a little bit of strength there, though I'm not sure it's really needed. But I did do that. Again, you can see here, I do not have a fretboard on this. This is a fretless build. I'm almost wondering if I should have put a fretboard material on there just to add to the thickness of the neck and to help stiffen it. I wasn't really thinking about that because I was thinking I don't need frets, so I won't need that. But I'm using the light strings from a 6-string guitar set. So this is the GBE strings that right now I have tuned EBE, which gives a nice bright sound, which I thought would be in keeping with the sort of banjo-esque-ness of this. Let's talk about some more parts of this. This bridge is a bridge and saddle that came from a yellow SpongeBob plastic kids toy ukulele. And I salvaged it from that to use as a bridge and saddle. I'm not sure if that'll be my permanent one, but I started with that. You can see I have, there's a through body design, and I have some of these rivet collars to kind of keep from cutting into the wood. A unique feature of this one is, I don't know if you can see this, I did not want the metal strings rubbing against the metal tin. And so I took a piece of mahogany that's inside a cigar box, and I cut it and trimmed it and then stained it with a Sharpie and then super glued it onto the end of the box so that the strings would cut into the wood. So it would be sort of a gentler attack for the strings there. I should also note, in case you're wondering how I got this neck black, I took black leather dye. Like if you have black boots that have been all scuffed up, you want to re-blacken them. It is dye for that. So I basically hit a couple coats of black leather dye, and then I sprayed it with a matte finish, sort of a clear coat, to kind of finish that. Again, the Dia de los Muertos skull there, I just printed it off the computer, and I decoupaged it. For folks who are interested in how I do that to keep it from bubbling, what I do is I take the paper and I spray it with a matte lacquer on one side and then let it dry. And I do it on the other side and let it dry. That way it essentially plasticizes the paper. And then I put the decoupage Mod Podge on the tin, and then I laid it on that and rolled it out smooth and let that dry. Once it dried, then I put a finishing layer of Mod Podge over top of that. You can see it still has a little bit of a sheen to it, even though it's a matte Mod Podge. I may come back and spray that with another matte layer of clear coat just to get the sheen off. I should say that on some other builds, I've used the bottom as a resonating surface, but in this tin, I didn't find it was that sturdy a bottom, and I didn't trust it. And so the pressure that comes from steel strings, I thought I want to have something that's going to be solid. I should say that a benefit of this decoupage is it's toned down the tinniness of this. So I think in the future, I'll do more of this decoupage, even if it's on the inside, to just help tone down that big tinny ring that gives a steel drum sound. Because this does not have the sound of a steel drum like some of the candy tin ukuleles that I've made. This is bright, but not overly tinny. I think something that helps with that is you may note that I have these black screws that are screwed in on 6 of these angles of this 8-sided tin. So that's holding that lid solid. I should say that I put a pickup in here. There's a piezo pickup, and I just glued a piece of wood on the inside and then screwed into that to hold it tight. I'm a little aggravated right now because I tested the piezo, plugged it into my amp before I hot glued it in here, and it worked then. I plugged it in to play it, and it does not work now. So I'm pretty aggravated. I'm not sure if my soldering came loose, because I'm not a great solderer. I'm kind of new at that. So one of these days, if I want to plug this in, I'll need to go back and open this thing back up again and see what's going on there. To help the sound get out of here, I did drill just 2 little holes here on the top that'll come up toward the player in case they're not plugged in. And I'll tell you, I like the sound of this. I'm not sure if you can hear that. It probably sounds better with a pick. Since I mostly play the ukulele, I'm not used to picking. So this gives me an excuse to work with that some. I do have a slide here that I made from a wine bottle. Again, as you can see, I'm still playing around with this, but I think I'm going to be playing this more because I do really like how this turned out. I like the sound of it. I did do a cookie tin stick dulcimer banjo, also 3-string, also the high strings, and I haven't played around with that as much as I would like to. Again, that one has frets. This one is fretless, and I really want to have a brighter fretless one. I didn't mention the scale of this. This is a 21.5-inch scale. So this thing is 30 inches long, and that's so it will fit into the gig bags I have for baritone ukuleles. I do have a strap on here, and again, everything from this came from somewhere else. These strap buttons I have, these black strap buttons, came from a plastic Guitar Hero guitar. And this strap that says Fender on it, again, it was a Fender, like Guitar Hero guitar that I got this from. So basically, this came from Toys, and the original tuners were Toys, and it's a stick. The only thing on here that was really made to be an instrument were the strings and the tuners. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to learn how to play this. Pretty soon I'll be going to the Republic of Texas Cigar Box Guitar Festival. I'm planning on bringing this with me and see if I find somebody there who knows how to really play this. And I really love to see how that sounds by somebody who really knows what they're doing. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of my builds or unboxing videos I do, or instrument review videos, please subscribe. I'd love to have you see more of these. Thanks for watching.